Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's workshop. Welcome, Cassandra. Welcome, Adam. Oh my God, Adam, I recognize your name from years ago. Welcome, Kevin. Adam, welcome, 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 welcome.
Good morning, Ash. How you doing this morning?
I am so good. How are you?
Every day is a good day. Every day for the Wu family.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yep, and we're glad to have you back as our
Thank
facilitator.
you. Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be back. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Rashida. Welcome, Wonja. If I don't say your name correctly, please correct me. Hi, Kevin. It has been a minute. Nice to see your name as well.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And Cassandra, Taisha, Chris, Rashida, Muonja. How many of you, if you're there, would you come off mute and just let me know you're there?
Ground rising, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome,
Grand Rising,
Rachel.
everyone. Grand Rising.
Cassandra. Do I have it?
Cassandra, Grand Rising.
Cassandra. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. I'm happy to see at least one familiar name jump onto the line in the last couple of minutes. Um, for those of you who don't know me, who I've never met before, I'll just take a moment to introduce myself, and then I would love to hear from a couple of you, who you are and what has you be here this morning. So my name is Ash Now Straw O'Malley. I got married just 5 months ago, and I am a senior yoga teacher. I am a thank you, Cassandra. I am I'm a 500 hour E-RYT. What that is in the world of yoga is it's an experienced registered yoga teacher. It just means that I have some 3,000 plus hours of teaching experience in yoga. And I'm the founder of a yoga school. And I'm really happy to see actually there's someone on the line this morning who's a graduate of my yoga teacher training. Nija, it's good to see you. Good to see your picture. Um, and so I am the owner and founder of a company called Flow and Restore, which is a wellness company that provides wellness services. And our commitment really is to make wellness services available to anyone who wants to participate. And we have served tens of thousands of people at community events in downstate New York. And in the last year, I've begun co-founding a larger wellness brand that I'll share more about over the course of this morning, called Shepherd You, that is really looking to bring comprehensive wellness services to the world and standing in a promise that people be well, a future where all people are well, period. Which, if you look out your window, may seem like a far away dream, but we're standing in a promise that that could be realizable in my lifetime for sure. That's the stand that we are. And I haven't been to a Wake Up Everybody session in probably 3 years, but there was a time when I was leading Wake Up Everybody sessions on a regular basis. And I'll share that I'm a graduate of Be the Tree with Spirit of a Woman Leadership Development Institute. I don't remember when I did Be the Tree, but after I did Be the Tree, after I completed it for myself, I coached that program for 10 of its cohorts and served as Shawnee Benton Gibson's executive assistant for a while after that, and have worked on several Motherwit conferences. And so it's been a while for me since I've been in this space, but I used to be in this space all the time. I think it's Chantel put in the chat, Ash is the original shot. No one can be Chantel but Chantel, but it transitioned that role to Chantel. So, if we haven't met before, that's who I am, a little bit about who I am, and it's just really great to be with you this morning. And this morning we're going to open up an inquiry into the world of grace. And when I say inquiry, what I mean by that, and I might actually even ask you, what do you hear in that? But first, I'll say a little bit about what I mean by that. What I mean by that is I don't have the answer about grace. When I look at this screen, and a couple of you I know from, or I have met and interacted with, I'm pretty sure you might have a little bit more about the world of grace than I do personally. So we're going to look together. That's what I mean by inquiry. Yeah. And maybe this is what you put in the chat, Rachel. Rachel, was that what you're responding to in the chat? What do you think of when you hear the word inquiry?
Yes, ma'am.
And am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, you are. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So I would like to hear from a couple of you. Who are you, and what has you be here this morning? Who are you, and what has you be here this morning? A pretty big question. Who are you? If you think about it, you could answer that any way. But who are you, and what has you be here this morning? Chris.
Grand Rising, Ash.
Hello.
My name is Chris Pena. I am a certified nurse assistant, a former emergency medical technician. I am a maternal care advocate and a father of 2 children that I have been alienated from for 8 years and 13 birthdays, but things are looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good. It seems like this year is going to be the year. So what brings me here this morning is I would like to learn more about, how I can expand my maternal care advocacy, especially here, and also get to know, I think your last name, are you Irish?
I'm not, but my husband is.
Okay, by marriage. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, now I'm just here to learn also, and to have a good time as always. Thank you. Oh, thank you for, holding it down back in the day. I've been coming here since this year, but thank you for holding it down.
I recognize your name actually as you say your full name. I recognize it. I wonder there perhaps our paths have crossed in the past.
Okay. All
Thank you for
right.
being here and thanks for what you shared. And I'm gonna build on something you said because it's worth building on. What if, Chris, and you don't have to answer this, but it's just something to kind of hold in your awareness as we have this conversation this morning. What if you could bring all of what that is that you're dealing with into grace? What if you could bring it into grace? What might that allow for, in terms of your advocacy work, but also in terms of your own, what you are personally looking at and I'm going to say confronting, like you're actually looking right at it. Um, what if you could bring all of that into grace?
Yeah, no, how do I do that? You know?
We'll look we'll look together. If I had the answer, if I told you I had the answer, I'd be lying. So we'll actually look at it together, but you're in a perfect place to open up this conversation. So thanks, really.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Good. Rachel.
Yes. So I am a woman of purpose,
Mm.
and I try to be here as much as I can to grow, to learn, to heal, to share, and to thrive. And I am complete.
Thank you. Thanks for answering the question, who are you in that way?
Right. And then we have Cassandra in the chat. God's very own special girl. I am a community servant leader and a defender of men. My
Mm.
motto is space and grace. I frequently need it, so I freely give it. I show.
Thank you. This is kind of what I meant by perhaps I'm bringing grace to the table as a point of inquiry, something to open something up for us this morning as we head into our days. And perhaps I'm not an expert in grace at all. And there's nothing I'm going to give you this morning, but what is there for you to see for yourself. That's what I'm really interested in. And it's also what I'm hearing already. So I'm interested in tapping into the shared wisdom of community. And what's in the chat right now is a great example of what I'm pointing to. What you get to for yourself is far more interesting than what I might give you. And we have also Rachel in the chat. Grace, I give it to myself first and foremost. The grace I give myself, I try to give to others. Beautiful. All right, so I want to start this inquiry with a working definition of grace, a working definition. This isn't the truth, it's just a place to look about what might be meant by grace when we say it. What might be meant by grace when I'm talking about grace? What am I pointing to? And again, it's not the truth, but it's a place for us to look and start our inquiry, start our questioning, start opening something up for ourselves, start our own internal looking, our own kind of self-study. So Chantel, would you bring up those slides? And I'll read these slides first. And then I'm going to ask someone else to read them. So if you really want to jump in and participate, you might be the one. Get ready. Get your virtual hand ready.
Might be the one.
You might be the one. All right. So grace is an experience that spans various cultures and belief systems. It's synonymous with notions of divine mercy. Next slide. It is a quality that embodies elegance, kindness, and forgiveness. Through grace, we free ourselves from attachment and self-deception to embrace profound depths of reality, to soften into what we often shy away from. Next slide. Grace tenderly opens us to our own experience and our own expansion, touching our challenges, adversities, and victories with its loving presence. And then one last slide. Grace works in harmony with our earnest efforts to practice. Through ritual, sacrament, surrender, and discovery, we will access grace together, reflecting and amplifying our collective cultivation of it. So, a working definition, a place to start our looking. And I'm going to put all that in the chat so we have it all in one place. And my ask is, would someone else's voice come off mute and read that for the community? And I am on spotlight, so I can't see if your hand's raised. Someone, and you can, thank you.
Grace works in harmony with our earnest efforts to practice. Through ritual, sacrament, surrender, and discovery, we will access grace together, reflecting and amplifying our collective cultivation of.
Good. I'm going to ask you to do one more thing because that was perfect, perfect, perfect. Can we take the slide down? And then the whole series of slides is in the chat now. Would you read that whole series of slides, that whole piece of text that's in the chat?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Says, oh, you're welcome. It says, grace is an experience that spans various cultures and belief systems. It is synonymous with notions of divine mercy. It is a quality that embodies elegance, kindness, and forgiveness. Through grace, we free ourselves from attachment and self-deception, to embrace profound depths of reality, to soften into what we often shy away from. Grace tenderly opens us to our own experience and our own expansion, touching our challenges, adversities, and victories with its loving presence. Grace works in harmony with our earnest efforts to practice through ritual, sacrament, surrender, and discovery. We will access grace together, reflecting and amplifying our collective cultivation of.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I have a question for everyone, and anyone can answer this question. My question to you is what are you curious about in hearing that? What strikes you about that? What in that kind of stirs something up for you, or does anything cause you like a question, like, oh, is that really so? Or is there anything that particularly resonates for you about that? Another simple way to answer a simple question to answer is, what do you hear?
To me, as grace is something that you practice, that you work, it's work, it's an action word, you know what I mean? So to me, that's what spoke out most about me. So it's not something, a lot of us, when we think of grace, I think most people just think of it. They don't actually think that grace is an action word, practicing it. So to me, that's what stood out most. Because a lot of people, they say, give grace, and that's it. It's like, oh, just give it. But it's like, what action are you doing to provide grace? So
Oh,
that's what stood out mostly for me.
I love that so much. Thank you for that. What a contribution. I think sometimes we can sometimes people think of grace as something that some people possess and other people don't possess. Like it's something that can that we have and that's that. I love that you point to there's a at the very bottom here it says through ritual, sacrament, surrender, and discovery. Ritual, sacrament, surrender, and discovery. We will access great grace together, reflecting and amplifying our collective cultivation of it. Ritual, sacrament, surrender, discovery, reflecting, amplifying, and cultivating all actions, all, all active, all words that suggest that this is that the cultivation of grace is an active principle. So really, really good. We'll dig into that a little bit.
And Ashley, at the
Thank you.
beginning, oh, sorry.
Yeah,
At the
please.
beginning of this, I was clearing, not knowing, just the perfectionist in me is like, well, how do I show grace? What are the directions? Tell me how to do it. I want to show myself grace first. I want to then show others grace as well. And so I think as you're reading this out loud, I can hear it. It's ritual, like continuously doing it, making a system where it becomes normalized for me and, surrender to the process, even when it feels uncomfortable or like I feel like I'm not doing something right, and releasing the thought of there's a right or wrong way to do it. And in my actions, if I'm intentional behind it, then I'm doing it right. If
Mm,
it's the intentionality behind it, it's the purpose behind it, it's the meaning of what I'm trying to show grace for. Why am I showing myself or someone else grace? Am I just handing grace out? And it's like, it's grace like throwing someone a lifeline, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll show you grace, but you know, it has to have a meaning, a purpose. I don't want to just show grace to show it like forgiveness. I want it to be
mm,
purposeful. And so
mm,
when you're showing this, and it's like discovering after. So this is kind of like a play by play of how grace works. And I didn't get that until you read it out loud. So thank you.
mm. Thank you, Chantel. Something you're pointing to that was also just pointed to is the action, the what the action is. I'm hearing this in what you all are creating, what the action is that allows us access to it. Perhaps it's a surrender of something. Perhaps it's a surrender of something that allows us into that space of grace. Um, so I heard that, and what we're going to explore what that might be. What might that surrender actually look like, or what might there be to, surrender is like a giving up of something. What might there be to actually surrender for that space to become available to us? And maybe this is not the truth. Again, just a place to consider. Maybe that space is always there. Maybe that space is always present. Maybe. Just as something to consider. And then let's hear
Rachel?
from Rachel. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so this is so heavy because I correlate everything that I read with healing. And then I also understand that surrender. That's a huge word that keeps popping out to me, right? And that may be surrender for me to give myself grace, and for me to give somebody else grace. I might have to surrender that attachment, right? I might have to say I have to give you grace from afar because I can't give myself grace with this kind of energy in my presence, right? So that's what's coming up for me. Surrender, sacrifice, of the pride, the ego, the attachment. So I have to learn to detach in order to offer grace. And I'm complete.
Thank you again. Thank you for such rich contributions. I wonder there with you about navigating that space where surrender doesn't mean tolerance. Does that make sense? So yeah, I thank you. I see your heart. Surrender doesn't equal tolerance. Surrendering into grace doesn't mean I now tolerate unworkability in my environment, but can I bring it into grace? Kind of like I was asking Chris at the very beginning, can I bring whatever that is that's there into grace? Great. Kevin?
Hi, Ash.
Hi.
Um, being a fellow yoga teacher,
Yes.
I feel like this conversation has opened up like another doorway to grace. And I feel
Mm.
like it's so expansive. And I've only been practicing maybe, I don't know, a quarter of what you're saying. Um, and I'm very curious about the surrender portion and how consistent that is. And for me personally, how else can I apply that on a daily basis?
I'm like my body is covered in chills with the depth with which you all are engaging with this questioning. So let me just say that to acknowledge you. Thank you for engaging with the questioning for yourself as deeply as you are. And Kevin, I knew I recognized your name. I knew, I knew from I think a 7 day ritual was the
Yep,
one time our paths crossed, and
yep,
then
the
it was
one time.
yeah.
Yep.
Um, yeah, thank you for saying that. I know when I look honestly, I what shows up for me first is the places where how I show up are not consistent with what what I read. Where I what That's what I see first is what's not consistent with in my life with what I read. And I think in terms of our own self-study and our own self-inquiry, that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see what's not it first. So this idea of surrender has now come up a few times in the conversation. So I'm going to take us into the next space of this conversation, given it's right there. So I want to focus in on just this one aspect of what's been read and spoken so far. Through grace, through grace, we free ourselves from attachment and self-deception to embrace profound depths of reality, to soften into what we often shy away from. Would one person other than me come off mute and read just this piece of what we've been exploring this morning? Anyone can jump in.
Through grace, we free ourselves from attachment and self deception to embrace profound depths of reality, to soften into what we often shy away from.
Thank you. So that soften into what we often shy away from. That quality of surrender kind of emerges from those words. At least it does to me inside being with you. You know, maybe if we were a different group at a different time, a different set of words would kind of come off the page. But that part really comes off the page to me in reading it. The quality of surrender, softening into what we often shy away from. So let's look a little bit at this business of what we often shy away from. That might, perhaps that gives us a clue into what there is to surrender. What is it that we're often shying away from? And what do we even mean by shying away from something? When I first read shy away from, the first thing that I kind of see that language and I think, oh, that seems pretty innocent. It's just people are shy. People kind of shy away from things. But then I took a deeper dive into what is meant by shy away. And Chantel, would you move to the next slide? So I actually looked at how has the word shy been defined over the course of time, over the course of the English language? Let's be straight about that, over the course of the recorded English language, and then a shy away also. What does that turn of phrase mean? Before I read the slides, I'm going to read what's in chat because it looks great. So I used to shy away from the feeling of abandonment or the fear of being alone. I got that. It's great. Usually it's the most important thing that we need to do in order to grow. Is Queen A, are you saying that which we shy away from is
Yes,
usually, yes.
yes, ma'am.
That's insightful, a really insightful statement. And then Rachel, shy away, avoid. So, you know, if we look at what's here on the screen, so shy, definition of shy as an adjective is shy is reserved, disinclined to familiar approach, cautious, wary, suspicious. I was really struck when I heard that word suspicious. Like, where are those areas of my life where how I be is suspicious of whatever's happening? And then verb, to start suddenly aside through fright or suspicion. Again, I was really struck by suddenly. Like it's like there's that response or that reaction, and then through whatever the fear and suspicion that arises, it's a quick turn away from, or to avoid due to timidness or caution. So this is shy, and then shy away, to draw back in fear, cringe, back down, to avoid something that one fears or does not feel confident about. And then I saw Laura also in the chat. What Laura, avoidance is of what is most important for me to do. Yeah, so what's on this screen, we do this. It's not personal to you or to me, although our versions of it are personal. We do all this. People do all this. People do everything that's on this screen. So just kind of leave that there for a moment. So let me see this. The feeling that I feel is sudden when unexpected. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to do anything with this right now. I'm not going to take this too much further, but is there anyone who you see this and you think, no, I don't ever do any of that. I never, ever, never move away from something that I feel fear over, or move away from something that I don't feel confident about, or move away for something that has me cringe. Uh, so would you could take the slide down, and I'm gonna say a little bit more of something, and then I'm gonna give us a new place to look. And what I'm gonna say is it's a something to consider. Consider that some of the places that we shy away from, we are not even present to what they are, because we've got so much energy and attention on the shying away part. Like we've got so much of our focus on keeping the thing separated from us that we're not actually really fully present to, we're certainly not fully present to all of what we shy away from. But we're not fully present even to those things I think that are important to us that we shy away from. So, so the question then becomes, in terms of this surrender business, how am I gonna, what is there to surrender to? What is there to soften into? The question then becomes, what is it that I am shying away from? if I took the case that I'm not even fully aware of what it is that I shy away from, then how might I look toward those things? How might I see those things? Chantel, would you pull up the next slide? So I have a question for all of us to explore, to kind of a place to look that might give you what you shy or are currently shying away from. And here's the question, and I should have told you to get a pen and paper so that you could actually journal on this. So if you didn't do that, you may want to go grab one. If you're on a device that has a note taker somewhere, you could just open up the note taker, you could open up a notepad or open up an email to yourself. So here's the question. What are those areas where you are committed to having something or being some way, but regardless of that commitment to have or to be, you don't have that something or are not being that way you're committed to? You have the commitment to have something. And what I mean by having something is like a particular amount of money or a particular job or something in a relationship or being some way. Like you're actually committed that on a regular basis you're being peaceful, or you're being confident. And in some areas you experience that you are not being that way. So I'll just say this one more time. What are those areas where you are committed to having something or being some way, but regardless of that commitment to have or to be, you don't have that something or are not being that way you are committed to? So I'm gonna give us like a minute, maybe 2 minutes to journal on this, maybe a minute and a half. And then I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear from you. What are those areas where yes, these questions can be put in the chat. What are those areas where you're committed to having something or being some way, but regardless of that commitment to have or to be, you don't have that something or are not being that way you're committed to? And Chantel, will you drop them or someone in the team drop them in the chat? Otherwise, I can pull them up.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Thank you. Thank you. Just take a minute and write. Look look within yourself. Have it really easy to put in the chat. I have super easy access to it. Laura.
Hi, Ash. Thank
Laura,
you
I
so
miss you
much.
so much.
I know, Ash. Thank you, thank you. And I think I can speak quickly on this. I'm heading out. But I am committed to writing, completing my book. And I find that this journey of writing this book is really bringing up some stuff for me that needs to get flushed out, because sometimes I write some things and then I'm questioning, do I want this out there? How it's triggering me? You know, do I want to expose myself? And then I keep rewriting it so that, you know, it doesn't maybe trigger me so much. So I keep stalling, not writing, and keep questioning myself, you know.
Mm.
I've made this commitment. I've started. I have a manuscript now. Whew, why is it I'm not doing it? I made a commitment to write 1 hour a day. Have I done that?
Mm.
No. I get distracted and I do all other manner of stuff. And but what I'm loving is the journey and what it's flushing out of me to get out so I can eventually reap the benefits or heal from it.
Mm.
I'm complete. Thank you.
Mm. Laura, thank you. Can I engage with you a little bit? Will you
Yes,
engage with me a little bit? Good.
yes.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure that you weren't complete, like that's all you want to say and you don't want to say anything else. Um, so Laura, how long have you been is it the writing or is it the publishing? Is it the writing like completing the book or is it the publishing the book?
It's the writing, I've written most of it already,
Mm.
and I engaged with an editor. But what I gave to her, she wrote it in her own words, which I'm not comfortable with. So it's part of the journey also, like I'm re-editing and rewriting it all over again.
Mm. Thank you. Good. Okay, so I got that. So that it's more in the editing. It's not that you've that where you've gotten stopped is in the writing the book and getting the ideas onto paper. It's actually inside of the editing process and what's showing up there in the back and forth with the editor. So so I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna use what you're sharing, Laura, and the work that you're doing and the looking that you're doing to benefit and kind of tie into the work that everyone is doing. So in those areas where you're committed to having something or being some way, and in this area, Laura, what is it that you're committed to having?
Um, Committed to um
What's the result that you're committed to having? Is it like a, if I were to say it really simply, is it a published book?
yes, that's the result I'm expecting.
Yeah. And then a is there a way you're committed to being in this area that you're not currently being?
Yes.
What's that?
I'm not actively writing, um um like shying away from the writing, seeing patterns of my life where I would start something and not complete it.
Hmm.
And well, I've recently asked for a friend to be accountable, for an accountable partner, and I do have a coach. So I'm working on the discipline to do the work.
Good.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. It does make sense. There's a little there's a little more looking I'm going to invite you into for you and for everyone. So we're answering this question, right? What are those areas where I'm committed to having something or being some way, but regardless of that commitment to have or to be, I don't have that something, or I'm not being that way that I'm committed to. So there's some shying away from something in in there's some shying away from something in these areas. There are there are aspects of these areas that I shy away from. Maybe it's writing the book. Maybe it's the conversations that there are to have with the editor. Maybe. Maybe it's something there in relationship with people, something that comes up that seems unconfrontable. But what's undoubtedly there, and this will, I think if we all look in these areas where I'm committed to having something or being some way and I don't have it or I'm not being it, that shying away that I do, it looks like something. There's a way that it looks. What it looks like for me to shy away in these areas, whatever it is that I shy away from, it looks like something. So, Laura, in this area with your book, first, what is it really that you find yourself shying away from? Actually, Chantel, can you pull up that slide again with the definitions of shy and shy away? So just to get it back up, like back up in front of us, that this is what we mean by cautious, wary, suspicious, to start suddenly aside through fright or suspicion, to avoid due to timidness or caution, to cringe or back down. So, Laura, first is, what is it exactly that you find yourself shying away from?
I see timidness, definitely. Lack
Timidness,
of confidence.
yeah, but and perfect. And specifically where does it show up? Like get really, really granular with it. Is it is it in a is it in a particular kind of a conversation that there is to have? Or is it in response to something in particular? Get as specific with it as you can.
Wow. Okay. So, to have that honest conversation with the editor in terms of my expectation from the editor, I don't think I've been honest to express what my expectation or what the contract is about. And I see I'm like allowing her being afraid to just express myself honestly to her and mm, to let her know that I don't want AI to write my story. I want my story as I want my story out there. That is one thing.
Thank you. So the shying away is different, isn't it, Laura, to talk about it like it's writing the book from to really pull it in and get very specific about what it is that you actually turn aside from through fright or through timidness, that that it's specifically that conversation.
Ooh.
Yeah, and delivering, actually letting that person know, saying to that person, I don't want AI to tell my story, which, Laura, I'll tell you from the outside, like out here, there's nothing crazy about that. That's a if that's what you're committed to, that's a great thing to let somebody know. You know, it's it's really inside of our own, inside of that world of shying away, where the significance of what there is for us to actually say to someone it builds up. It's it gets it gets significant. It gets more intense. So thank you. Anything else you want to say about it? About that?
When you spoke about fright, I see where my habit of fight or flight comes up also.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have another question for you.
Mhm.
And again, I'm asking you, and it's an invitation to everyone because we all have these areas where we do this. Um, Laura, that shying away from that conversation with the editor, that looks like something. Like if I were to observe you doing whatever it is you call shying away, I would see something. It looks like something. It looks like something for all of us. We do that in particular ways. What is it if I were to observe you
Mhm.
and see you not having not having that conversation? What would I see you do? How do you shy away from that? How do you shy away from that conversation uh with your editor?
Not communicating with her.
Aha, say more.
Yeah, I shy away from communicating and just letting things happen or just waiting for her to communicate, which is another issue I have sometimes. I ghost. I will ghost. I might be because what is going on with me also. I'm having like pain in my right hand, my right thumb. So I'm not able to write as much as I used to also. But I find me not communicating is an issue.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you. So that's what that looks like for Laura. That's what that looks like for you, that shying away. And if I asked any one of us, it would look maybe a little bit different. For some of us, um, what it looks like to shy away from something is to avoid communicating with someone. It's to take take our self away from whatever there is that we see to do. Procrastination is totally a way that we shy away from something. That's kind of like what it looks like. So, if we can see what it looks like, maybe we can also catch ourselves in the act. Maybe we can catch ourselves in the act of it. Um, I wouldn't, I'm just telling this to you, I wouldn't spend too much time uh engaging with the question why. Not because it's not valuable. It can be very valuable, but it's valuable to the degree that it gives you freedom in the area you're committed to. So perhaps if we go all the way back to the beginning of our conversation this morning, which feels like it was 6 hours ago, but it was just like 55 minutes ago. Um, Perhaps if we go all the way back, perhaps that this is a clue into what there is to surrender, to allow for all of life to be brought into grace. Perhaps when we see ourselves in our particular flavor of shying away, perhaps that whatever our particular flavor of shying away is, of avoiding is, perhaps when we see it, we can surrender actually that way of being, like actually give that up, um, surrender to the experience of grace. Anything else you want to say about it, Laura?
Oh, thank you for the term procrastination. That's it, in a way. And I see that my fear of success also plays into this. So
Yes.
I'm finding excuses. I think a lot of this are just mere excuses.
It's really insightful. It's another way that shying away can look is
Yeah.
we excuse ourselves. It's so good to see you.
Oh, boy, it's been a while.
Oh, it really has been. Yeah. Ugh. Well, thank you. A huge contribution. Is there anything else you want to say? There's one more little piece I'm gonna get created in here this morning, and I know we're right about to be at 8 a.m. Eastern too. Is there anything else you want to say, Laura?
Um, Actually, yesterday I had a conversation with my coach, and she asked me to do a session on Wake Up about this journey of
Hmm.
my old procrastination and what is coming up for me during this journey of writing. So this is right on point. I thank you, and I'll allow someone else to just share. Thank you, Anne.
Beautiful. Thank
Bless
you.
you.
Thank
Bless
you,
you.
Laura. Huge contribution. Thank you.
Yeah,
Chantel.
thank you, Laura. Yeah, I'm just gonna read what's in the chat for Laura, and then you can. Well, actually, I'll turn it back to you real quick to say thank you to those who are on and who have to transition, and we'll go back.
Good. And we will get Rachel, you too. So because it is 7:59 Eastern, anyone who needs to sign off, anyone who's headed to work, or this is when you depart, thank you so much for the conversation this morning. It's been really just extraordinary. Deeply appreciated. And if you want to keep um keep opening this up, you can come back to the Facebook page and view the remainder of the recording and see where there's like one more space in the conversation. So you can see where we landed, but just deeply appreciate the level of depth you brought to this conversation. Chantel did put an offer from us into the chat for somatic practices, holistic practices, well-being practices, and work like this, self-inquiry work.
Awesome. Thank you, Ash. All right. So for
You.
Laura, some people just shared for you what they heard your shyness looks like. And Marilyn says, shy about sharing information, shying away from asserting ownership of the style. Queen A said fear. And I said, use that throat chakra, Laura. And Cassandra said procrastination. And Asia also shared in the chat, I want more prosperity. As a solopreneur, everyone tells me to get on social media. They are right, and I want success, but I desire to create my own type of prosperity, thus no viral videos and not immediate results. How can I have innovative out of the box wealth? And we could take Rachel first, and then we'll come back to you, Asia. So thank you for that.
Right, Kevin.
Rachel?
And Rachel, if you're speaking, you're on mute. Or maybe it was an old hand.
Yeah.
Was it an old hand? Could have been
yeah.
a hand we left on the vine too long.
All right, so let's go to Asia and then we can come back to Rachel. So Asia's question was, how can I have innovative out of the box wealth?
Good question. I mean, my first answer to the question is I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
One.
What do you see? I don't know. How can I? The question I would ask is, what in that area am I not willing to, what am I not willing to, it's like look at, or
Because it
if
seems
we
like
if
people don't want to do social
go ahead.
media. So what's the resistance around social media and
Yeah.
prosperity around that? And Asia, feel free to come off mute.
It's a great question, Chantel.
Thank you. Are you there, Asia?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Ash. Wake up, everybody, community. Well, I didn't grow up with social media, and it's still new for me, although I dibble and dabble. And no, I don't want my face to be seen and all of I like to be a hermit. And at the same time, there's so many other things to do. I like to contact people face to face and go door to door. And I think having that social media does kind of take away from that real intimate relationship that I can have with people when I meet them in person. But it has a lot of benefits, and everyone says, hey, just go on and post a video real quick. Go on real quick and do this. Go on real quick and do that. And I do have a lot of my other hands are in other pots right now. But I want to be successful. So
Hmm.
hopefully that shines some light on everything that's going on around my ploy to success.
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for coming off mute and really creating the world with us. So we have a window into your world. And I'm gonna pull it all through this conversation. So if we go back to the first question, what are those areas where you're committed to having something or being some way, but regardless of the commitment being present, the result that you want is not present? What is the result that you want? What is it that you're committed to having, or how you're committed to being in life that it's not there right now, it's not so right now?
I would like to be fully dependent on myself for wealth and prosperity, to be able to pay all of my bills on time and on purpose. And of course, wake up every day with a purpose, even if it is just to cry or if it is just to go for a walk. And then, of course, to heal and provide wellness to myself and others.
I hear the whole, I hear a
I feel like
huge, yeah, go ahead.
I feel like this is an elevator pitch. I wasn't prepared for it, but this is cool. It's a great space, and I'm just throwing things out there, and hopefully they do make sense in a good amount of time.
They make perfect sense. I hear loud and clear your commitment to well-being, kind of, whether it's you or it's someone else, or it's, irrespective of who is getting well, that around you, that's what's prioritized, and that's what's important. And so I hear that just loud and clear. And I share that commitment too. And I have a question that's got a little bit of a pushiness to it, if that's all right with you.
Okay, I'm ready.
What does that have to do with social media?
Well, that's what people say, when I say, "Oh, I want more, more, more," they say, "Get on social media." There you have more, more, more. That's what they say.
So, an offer, one of the ways that we keep ourselves from having what it is we really, really, really want is we create conversations like in our own mind and our own thinking that keep us, that kind of like, they do something. They create maybe like roadblocks. They create something that we have to push up against that makes the thing we want for ourselves impossible, when, perhaps that roadblock in particular, I'm calling it a roadblock, we could call it a lot of different things. Perhaps that roadblock in particular, it's perhaps that's not true.
Perhaps. Right. And not believing, not sinking into the paradigm that we all have outpictured, and creating my own paradigm is a great gift, a feat, a knack, a trick, magic. And that is where we are right now.
Yeah, perhaps there is your way to create and have us all get on your page.
Literally,
Perhaps.
literally, your Facebook page, your IG page. No, I'm just playing. But I did want to offer something, Asia. I did want to offer that I think you said I want to do this by myself, and I can't stress enough how important it is to not do this by yourself. Success can come with the help of others, and many hands make for lighter work, right? Hiring someone to help you with your social media. There are things that I know how to do, but I don't want to do them, and I can hire someone. And there are things that I don't know how to do, and I would still hire someone, right? If someone tells me this is going to help me be successful, I'm going to find someone who can support me in being successful, instead of being resistant. Like, someone who I can afford, who will help me bring my presence up. If this is what you're saying, we're in the day and age of technology, mainly people are online. How do I get to that point? Even if I don't know how to do it, who can help me get there? So taking it off of yourself, but still having that presence and working with someone who can take you there. It doesn't have to be you. And that's the stressful part, maybe. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to start. Don't worry about it. Find someone who does, right? And then build out my website. I've Ash is included. We've been hired to do these things for people because they don't either know how or they don't have the time, but they have the resources, right? And someone can help you build these things out. So not giving up on where we are, because we are in a day and age. Laura said, I don't want AI to write my story, but AI is so big right now. Technology is so big right now. So I wouldn't want you to let that hinder you from being successful or reaching a different base of success because of the resistance when you can get support.
Thank you, Shanta. I didn't even realize if I said that I want to do this all by myself, but I will. I do
and maybe
have.
maybe in your head you're like, I got to do this alone. And it's like, if you're building a business, that's big, right? And so see who can help you, even if it's word of mouth. That's help. People, if you like to go old school and knock door to door, get you a group of people to help you knock door to door. It doesn't just have to be you, because you'll be doing it for a long time by yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
and
you.
Queen A has her hand up. I don't know if you want to contribute, Queen A, or if you are sharing your story.
Yes, I don't know how Laura there we go. Yes, so how y'all doing? Great AM. So for me, the commitment to, so let me introduce myself. I apologize. I haven't introduced myself out more. So my name is Queen A. I'm an author and a clarity coach. For to me, the commitment that I have is to plant seeds and water minds throughout the world. So that's my commitment. Where most people focus on the physical aspect, I want to focus on the mental aspect, because statistics show the more we online, the more we lose it, right? So the thing that I find, regardless of my commitment, is I notice, for me, I think it's kind of it's fear. I know it's fear, because it's like so I left my job last year and really got out here and started doing everything, and everything just started getting handed to me in my lap. Like, when I really started planning things, everything just started coming. And I think for me, I know for me, I shied away from the success part of it. That's what I want to say. I know for some people it might not scare them, but for me, it's like it started coming so fast, it kind of scared me. So I pulled back a little bit. So for me, it's, making sure that I don't have that fear of these partnerships that's coming my way and take it as a blessing. So my commitment is causing me, I feel like it's like I think I'm surprised of how much people want to connect with me. So that's where I'm at with it. So I want to ask you, because as a clarity coach, we need the most clarity, right? So right.
Yeah.
So that's just honest, you know.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what does that look like to you?
Thank you so
Or
much
have
for
you ever felt like that?
it's such a good place to look. I have a question for you in response to that. What's the what's what is that when you, that thing, what's the fear of? So here I am, I hear you, I'm like, yes, please, let's partner together. What are you afraid of really will happen if we do? What's the actual fear?
For me, it's I ain't ever. So this is my first time. The actual fear for me is like, I think it's just can't believe that people really want to partner with me. And it's like at first my fear was, do I actually really have what it takes? I believe that's what it was in the beginning. But now as I'm using my program, it's like I'm seeing that it's effective. And, you know, I have my books, people coming to me, they're telling me that my stuff is effective. So I know it's effective now. So I think it's just the fear of actually, hold up, this is really about to happen. But now I'm getting myself out of that by just, so I write everything down now. So every day I have like a book where I have like, you probably can't see because I have my thing, but I have to cross it out. I have my top 10 things I have to do every day. And you know, and for me, I had to start doing it like that to keep myself out of that, because I think I was focusing too far ahead instead of on a now. I notice when I focus small, I don't get a lot of fear. But if I focus on the broad range of it, I shy back from it. I noticed that for me. So for me, it was giving myself more clarity and shortening down my goals. Like, okay, hold on. I'm looking at, you know, okay, 5 years I'll be doing this, but what can I be doing today? So that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Can you stay right here with me? I want to introduce this one last idea. It's like it's right in what you're saying. So I'm going to make an assertion, and I'm going to make an assertion. I'm going to say something that I'm asserting that this is true. It's basic. It's more or less true. I don't really like that word true, because, you know, who knows? And what do I know, really? But true, like I'm asserting that there's evidence for this. So in these areas where we don't, we can see what we want, we're committed to what we want, whether it's something that we'd have a particular result, or it's some way we'd be being in the world, like magnanimous or confident or ineffable with, like not possible to be messed with at all, you know, like just like white light everywhere, you know. Whatever, in those areas where we're committed to something, we're clear what we want, and we don't have it, we also have something else there. We also have something else there. Something like I would call it like a longing or like a yearning. You know what I'm pointing to? Like a wanting that is present. Like I wish.
Right.
Gosh, I wish that I could just overcome this. I wish that, and that is uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yes.
It's kind of painful.
It's beyond painful to me, because it's like, you know, I want to do it and it's right here and you can feel it, but it's just like, why can't I do
What
it?
am
And I
I
can feel
doing?
it.
Yeah. What am I doing? So here's my assertion, is that to protect ourselves from that discomfort, we people, all people, we shrink our worlds. We make our worlds smaller so that our worlds don't contain that degree of possibility. Thanks, Chantel, for reading
You're
my
welcome.
mind. We And we do that. I'm going to point back to a couple things. Our editor doesn't do that. The person suggesting we use social media doesn't do that. They don't shrink our worlds. We shrink our worlds to protect ourselves from that experience of we make ourselves and our world smaller. We actually remove that degree of possibility for you. That what you're pointing to, that big vision that you could have, that's possibility. That when we're talking about possibility, that's possible for you. It is possible for you, but inside of the avoidance of the discomfort, we will actually create a world for ourselves to live in. That, imagine you're a world and you put like a shell around you and you say, here's what's possible for me. And you put those things that you really don't want, you put them outside of your shell so that you don't have to deal with that stuff that's there when you go to, and it's all just to deal with that stuff that's there. It's all just to not feel that discomfort. It's all just to not experience, whether it's the discomfort of success or it's the discomfort of failure. And I think if you really look, there is the fear of success, but that fear of success is like, it's always got some fear of failure in it. It's always got a little bit of fear of failure in it. It's like, yeah, it's the success, but then when you have that success, now people are going to count on you to have that moving forward. So there's always just a little bit of the failure of I think when I look, you know, Lord.
Oh man, I just want to tell you, I'm grateful that you brought up the word failure to me, because that's one of the words that's actually one of my 13 principles that I teach on. So, I don't believe in failure. I look at failure as life lessons. So, I believe failure just teaches you what don't work so you can focus on what can. So I'm glad that you said that for me. So for me, when you said that, it was like, okay. So if I look at it that way, I could look at it. So I never looked at it that way. I always focus on like the success aspect of it. But when you switched it for me and said failure, I'm like, that gave me a different way to look at it. Like, okay, well now if that's the case, then okay, well I need to start doing this and applying this, utilizing the things that I teach, to overcome that, because I never looked at it as that way. I always looked at it as a fear of having success. I never looked at it as a fear of failing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Let me ask you one more question. This is just for you. If you were to, let's say, the question is, do you think that fear is going to go anywhere? Do you think it's going to?
I believe fear. So the fear is another thing I teach on. So I don't believe nobody actually conquers fear. I believe you just learn how to step into the unknown. I feel like the more you grow, you're going to always encounter something unknown. So you're going to always feel a little bit of fear. You just learn how to step into it no matter what.
And
unless it's a real threat there now. So if it's a real threat there, have fear. So I'm just kidding.
Run. Yes.
Right. But but that's how I feel. So when you say, when I'm looking at it that way, and I'm glad you spent it like that for me, because it made me look at it in a totally different aspect that I never actually paid attention to. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so
good.
I appreciate that. And I'm a definitions queen. So when you threw up the definition for shy and shy away, like I don't practice nothing without definitions. So I don't care. You can't talk to me if you don't know what the definition is. So when you threw up the definition, you had my full attention at that point. Like, because I knew at that moment, okay, she's like me. She do definitions, and she's actually saying something. She know what the word means. So I actually want to say I appreciate you for bringing this here today. I really needed this, and I'm complete. That's all. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I bet you're an excellent coach.
Yes, I mean, people seem to think I am. I think I am,
Yeah.
but of course I do, so so no, just
Yeah.
kidding. But
And you're right on. We can't coach anybody without knowing what it takes ourselves. You can't coach anything. You can't coach anybody on anything you don't have for yourself. You haven't gotten for yourself. So it's really powerful.
I believe coaches need coaches.
Yes, I was
So,
gonna say that coaches need coaches.
I have a coach, so I'm like, coaches need coaches. I believe that wholeheartedly. I feel like if you coaching me and you don't have a coach, it's a problem. So
And Queen A
Well,
will be
thank
on
you.
here in a few weeks too, so come back for her session.
yes,
Awesome.
ma'am. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Yes, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
All right, Ash, I'll read a few things in the chat, let you breathe.
Thank you.
You've been
So
coaching hard
great.
this morning.
It's beautiful.
All right, so you take a breath and I will read the chat and then we can wrap up. And so I was sharing with Asia about not doing this alone, and Shay, or yeah, I think it's Sherry or Cheryl Martinez. Thanks so much for this conversation. Lots more for me to think about in my life. Have an amazing day. And then Angela said, the by myself conversation is huge for me. Marilyn said, go far alone, go fast together. And I said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So that was the whole quote. And I said, look at Woo. Could you imagine Shawnee and myself trying to do this alone? There's so many volunteers that make this work, and it's been working for 5 years. So I couldn't imagine not having the support. And then Cassandra said, mine is fear of failure. Now I'm hearing so much of fear of success, making me rethink things. And then I shared, it is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. And then she said, I am procrastinating from completing my Florida bar exam, character and fitness. I avoid situations where people can decide I am not enough or not a good fit. And I said, if you already know you are good enough, it doesn't matter what they say. And that application does not define your enoughness. And then, sorry, Zawadi. I knew somebody from Disruptor Dow was here. So Zawadi said the conversation about doing it alone was for her.
Mm.
I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you. I am gonna start to move us to wrap up here. It's been so good to be with you. It's been so good to be
What's
with
the
you.
good
Thank you
part
so
about
much.
this, Ash, that you're going to come back for a few times, right?
That's right. Thank you. Yes. So this is so the title of this session is Opening a World of Grace. And this is just an opening into a whole world of dialogue and inquiry. And I won't say any more of the slides. I won't say any more of my slides, but I will say more about your slides, Chantel. So I think I'm back on this coming Sunday. And what we got to today, we're going to start around here on Sunday. So we'll pick up from right here on Sunday. This is a 5-session series starting today, Tuesdays and Sundays. And Chantel just put in the chat special offer from me, from us, from my company. So on a weekly basis, I teach yoga nidra. Right now I teach meditation, and then we have another breathwork facilitator. We'll have a new meditation teacher in the next few weeks. We have a monthly membership that provides access into all of those weekly classes. And then we also have an inquiry that takes place 4 times a year into opening a world of grace, like this conversation with myself and 2 co-leaders. And so we delivered that. That's a part of our membership. We provide a human design work inside of our membership, and we have 4 gentle cleanses that take place throughout the course of a year, in addition to all of those weekly classes. So in the chat is a link to that, we're offering 10% off of the monthly membership. So it's typically $150 a month for all of that. And 10% off is $15 $15 off of that. So it's $135 a month. And we're offering that for the whole first year. So every payment for the month for the whole first year is $135. And if you have any questions about that as well, my phone number is in the chat. You can see our Facebook is in the chat, our Instagram, but also my email, my personal email is in the chat. And you should feel free to text or email me liberally with questions about this offer or anything we did today or anything else that we have coming up. We have a lot of different wellness practices that we offer throughout the year, which I'll say more about on the other sessions. But this is for you, this 10% off discount. And there's my phone number. There's my email. And there's us on Facebook and Instagram. And I invite you to check out the website because it'll also give you a sense of what we do. We deliver plant medicine programs or retreats, destination retreats that are deeply healing and transformational. We do a lot of work with communities in recovery, but you can get a really good sense of the world of what we provide by going to our website. And that's that. Of course, love offerings. I want to say, I don't think I'm supposed to say this, but I'm like, come be a member of our, if you want to send a love offering, come be a member of our weekly classes instead. You'll get more. But also love offerings and donations.
Yes, thank you, Ashton. That was a great plug. Yeah, so the love offerings, we want to make sure that we pay it forward and we have the space to have conversations like this every morning by way of Zoom and text messages, e-blasts, all those things require resources. So I want you to all consider that every morning. And then you can also do it on a monthly basis by clicking the links that are in the chat in order to send your love offerings and donations on a monthly basis and set it and forget it. It'll come out every month for you. And up next, we have Dion Monsanto, Breath, Movement, and Affirmations for Self-Care. And that is tomorrow in our 30-minute session. And then we have Martine Lisa Malavers for 90 minutes on Thursday. Have you talked to your child about being touched today? And that is our Touch Rebellion CEO, co-founder, and she's talking about, child molestation and being touched and all of the things and how we can provide our children with the tools and resources as adults to support them. So tune in for those sessions. And then we have our Speak Mood Change, National Postpartum Awareness, and our Speak Mood Change Reproductive Freedom Train, an Afrocentric journey to liberation coming up. It's a 2-day event, April 25th and Saturday, April 26th, both on Zoom, where we're going to take a ride into the future and looking at reproductive justice and taking some stops across the country to see what resources are out there in the world for BIPOC women and their families for reproductive health in the future. So come out for that. And then the following week, we have the Postpartum Awareness Week from Sunday, May 4th to Saturday, May 10th. And we'll have a night every night from Sunday to Saturday where we cover different topics around postpartum awareness. So you can register for both of those events. I'm going to drop them in the chat here. 1 second. And so again, one is in April and the other is in May. You can register here for both. 1 second. And so we want to also welcome all of our new members into the space. Thank you all for joining us. Come back and invite other people with you. We have some new faces in here. And so we want you to keep bringing new people with you as we learn, elevate, and ascend together. And you can do so by joining us on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for 90 minutes. And that's 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And then we have Mondays and Wednesdays that are 30 minutes, and that's 7 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And then we're also live on Facebook if you can't make it into the Zoom space. And you could text CAP Woo Nation to 74121 to get morning reminders, get those text messages that we are on the line, and join us. And we ask that you stay in touch so you can look at the next week's lineup and register by going to bit.ly/wake up movement. And we have our Facebook private page and we have a Facebook group. So 2 different places where you can catch those replays. Then our Instagram, and we are continuing to build up our YouTube with the archives of past videos. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go to info.wakeupseries@gmail.com and we'll see your questions and follow up from there. So let's take this down and we're going to give Ash her well-deserved love shower for this morning. So thank you, Ash.
Thank you, love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you.
Thank you, Ash.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Listen,
Thank
you
you.
better
Thank
go
you.
lovely to hear
Have
you
a
Thank you
great
for the
day.
extra love,
because
brother.
that,
I love you.
thank
Oh,
I
you.
love you. I love you.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
see orange
thank you.
And I'm glad to see you, Ash. I love you.
I didn't know why.
Appreciate
Awesome
you.
presentation.
Christmas tree.
Love
Thank
that.
you so much.
Love you, family.
Have a great day. Sending
Prodigal
loving
daughter.
wishes your
Thank you. Thank
way.
you. Thank you for
Healing
your
and
great work.
positivity.
I love
Hey,
each and every one of you. So glad to be here.
Have a good
Have a
day.
great
Thank
day.
you. Thank you. And
Take
Ashe,
care.
everyone. Ashe.
God bless you.
thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Peace and blessing. Love you,
Thank you.
Ashes, Teresa. Glad
I
to see
know
you,
I
baby.
see you. I see
I
you
know.
right
I'm
there.
so
Love you
overslept.
too.
But I'll be there. I'll be there Sunday. Make sure I see you. Have a great day.
Good.
Take care and
Good.
God bless everyone.